Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to go over 7 different reasons to not get American Express's charge cards. Now, full disclosure, I'm someone who actually happens to have multiple American Express charge cards. I think they can actually end up being some of the best cards out there to help improve your experience if you want to go do business or first class flights, stay at some of the coolest hotels, or get yourself lounge access at airports. Now, even though these cards have worked out really well for me because I know how to maximize their benefits to the fullest, I've met numerous people who happen to have American Express charge cards who I feel if they happen to get themselves different cards would get way more benefits from having these other cards instead. Now there are 3 main American Express charge cards. It's going to be the American Express Green Card, the American Express Gold Card, and the American Express Platinum Card. There's also going to be business and authorized user cards as well, and different flavors of some of these cards that have slightly different benefits out there. Now with these cards, what you're going to be earning is membership reward points. Now, membership reward points can be redeemed in a bunch of different ways, such as statement credit or for gift cards, but the most valuable way to redeem these points will end up being to transfer them over to transfer partners. The first reason to not even apply for an American Express charge card is if you happen to have a low credit score. Now, American Express is definitely one of those programs that is looking for people that have higher credit scores and also higher earners. So if you happen to have a credit score in the 600s, then I don't think that it's going to make that much sense to apply for one of the American Express charge cards. Definitely look at going for them if you happen to be in the mid 700s or above, because I think you'll have a high chance of approval there. Now, you might meet people who say that they got approved maybe somewhere in the higher 600s, but I think that it might not even be worth it for a hard inquiry on your account if you don't happen to have in the 700s or above to apply for that card. The second reason to not get an American Express charge card would be if you're not sure you actually want to keep this American Express charge card. Now, there are a number of people who happen to get credit cards and then they have them maybe for 6 months or 10 months and then they end up just canceling the card. You do not want to do that with the American Express, because if you end up doing that, say you happen to get the sign-up bonus that is connected with that card of either 60,000 or 100,000 membership reward points, if you actually end up canceling that American Express charge card that you got, American Express will claw back those points that they actually gave you for that sign-up bonus. So they do not want people who are gaming their program. Even if you happen to not be gaming their program, you just have decided that you do not actually want to keep one of their cards, then what I would say is keep their card for at least a year, and then when that next annual fee ends up actually hitting, then that's actually when you want to get rid of that card. The third reason will end up being if you don't have another credit card outside of American Express. Now, even though American Express cards can end up being really great to have, if you don't happen to have a MasterCard from a different program or a Visa card, there are places that you end up going with your American Express charge card that will not be accepted. When I was over in Europe, I was in London, there was actually a number of different places that I went to that only accepted Visa or MasterCard. So it was good for me to actually have one of those cards in my wallet, because then I could just use those at the location I was at. The fourth reason not getting an American Express charge card is if you want to downgrade it. Now, I've met someone who was recently telling me that they actually happen to have an American Express Platinum card and they were thinking about downgrading it to the Gold card. I had to tell them, do not do that, because you're going to lose out on the benefit of getting the welcome offer with the card. The welcome offers with these cards will end up being incredibly valuable. I mean, you could be looking at getting yourself a business class flight over to Europe just from the welcome offer. So it is incredibly important to not just downgrade the card, and if you don't want the card anymore, to cancel it. If you're actually interested in an American Express card, then it makes more sense to apply for it. It's not like the Chase program where if you happen to have something like the Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can downgrade to the Chase Freedom Flex card. And if you want to, years later, you could upgrade that card back up to the Chase Sapphire Reserve and then also apply for the Chase Freedom Flex and still get that welcome offer. But with the American Express program, they have a once in a lifetime rule. So if you end up getting yourself that card, you will lose out on that offer, which end up really hurting your gains with the membership reward program. So it just doesn't make any sense to get yourself the card if you're looking to downgrade to it. The fifth reason to not get yourself an American Express charge card is if you happen to want to use your membership reward points for statement credit. Now, I've honestly met so many people who've gotten themselves the American Express Gold card. They love it all because of the fact that they can use it at restaurants and at grocery stores, and then they grab all their membership reward points and then they just redeem it all for statement credit. This happens with so many people who are part of the American Express program, and they don't realize how much they're losing out on value from doing that. If you end up redeeming your points for statement credit, you only end up getting 0.6 cents per point. Now, if you end up looking at the industry standard in most programs, usually ends up being 1 cent equals 1 point. So that means you're only getting a little bit over half the value of what the industry standard would end up being for your points if you end up redeeming it that way. Now, the best way to redeem your membership reward points would be through travel, and especially with transfer partners. You can redeem it through travel, just get yourself 1 cent per point and have yourself at the base level. But if you actually want to get yourself more value than that and fly possibly business class or first class or stay at some awesome hotels, then the best way to end up doing it would be to transfer it over to transfer partners and looking at their reward programs and taking advantage of those. But if you're looking at grabbing your hard-earned points and just putting it towards a statement credit, then it's just gonna make a lot more sense to get yourself a different credit card. The sixth reason to not get yourself an American Express charge card is if you can't take advantage of the credits to help offset the annual fee. Now, all the charge cards that I've named here in this video are going to have an annual fee over $100 and some close to $700 just to have this card each year. But all these cards are actually gonna have credits that are gonna be connected to it. And if you actually end up taking advantage of those credits, you can bring the annual fee down to either 0 or very close to 0. However, there are so many people out there who actually end up having these cards and do not even realize the benefits that end up actually being connected with them. Recently, I was actually talking to people about the Saks Fifth Avenue credit that you can end up getting yourself $50 back with the American Express Platinum card. And when I was telling people about it, because I wanted them to take advantage of the Rakuten offer that was connected with it, the people who I was talking to this about didn't even realize that the American Express Platinum card had a $50 Saks Fifth Avenue that you can end up using. Now, I get that Saks Fifth Avenue may not be a place that you regularly shop. It isn't one that I do for sure. However, get myself a free $50 to Saks Fifth seems like a benefit that I should take advantage of if I don't have to spend any additional money to do. Now, there wasn't only one person or just this benefit who this has happened with. I've talked to numerous people and realized that they have American Express charge cards and they don't even understand that they have all the different benefits that are connected with it or how to even actually use the benefits. I'm not saying you have to use all the benefits that are connected with the card, but it would make a lot of sense to use the benefits that are at least going to help offset the annual fee, because if you don't end up doing that, then it's going to cut into the earnings that you end up getting from these cards. And the seventh and final reason to not get yourself an American Express charge card is if you happen to not be a frequent traveler. Now, I honestly have met numerous people who happen to have the gold card or the platinum card, and unfortunately, they don't really travel. They might go on one trip a year, and that's a might. But if you happen to be a frequent traveler, then getting the charge cards with American Express can make a lot of sense. But if you aren't, then honestly, I just don't really understand it, because there are other cards out there that can end up being better for you, that can end up giving you more earnings if you happen to have those. Because the best way to actually end up taking advantage of the American Express charge cards is to use all their benefits. And to use all their benefits is going to mean to travel. You're going to want to grab their membership reward points and transfer them over to transfer partners so you can end up getting yourself the most value for your points. You want to have the green card to get yourself clear and then be able to speed your way through security at the airport, or have yourself the American Express Platinum card to be able to use the Centurion Lounge or a Priority Pass. Using these cards to explore the world is truly what they're designed for. So if you end up getting these cards just for the prestige that's connected with American Express, which is honestly the reason that a lot of people end up getting American Express charge cards, is going to just hurt into your gains and rewards for having these cards instead of getting yourself another card that can end up benefiting you more. But there you have it, guys. Those are my 7 reasons to not get yourself an American Express charge card. Now, as I said in the beginning of this video, I do actually happen to have American Express charge cards. I do think that if you happen to be a frequent traveler, they can end up making a lot of sense for you and give you a ton of gains. But definitely do your research to make sure that you're not leaving money on the table by getting these cards just for the prestige that's connected with it. And make sure you can take advantage of the benefits that are given to you with this card. Now, if you happen to be interested in any of the American Express charge cards, I will have referral links down below, and if you decide to use them, they will help out the channel, and I'll be very thankful for your support. But let me know in the comment section down below what you think of American Express charge cards. Do you happen to have any? Which ones do you happen to have? Drop it down in the comment section down below. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you do happen to have any questions, also drop this down in the comment section down below. I'll do the best I can to answer them. If you happen to really like this video, then please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and have a beautiful rest of your day.